he's cooked. He's absolutely cooked. Oh my god. The mission of this build was to get high fire rate and high damage. That was the goal, and that is exactly what we did. For all the people that don't know, I stream both on YouTube and on Twitch. I help my viewers complete the boss fights, especially the new boss fight, the hardest one. If you guys need any help with any boss fights for that matter, we always have a super fun time, so make sure to hop in. Some people might ask, Pip, why are you using mental focus? And why are you not using, what's the name here? Sharp precision shot. The problem here, guys, is this does not work. This weapon does not trigger sharp precision shot. Now, I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know if it's just for me, but every time we've tried it with Greg, it just does not work. This could be fixed in the future, but currently it did not work, so I was not able to utilize this mod. That is why I switched to mental focus. Fire rate minus 10% when firing a firearm. Firearm attack plus 1.5% for 2 seconds up to 60 stacks. Now, the obvious reason is to make the most of this mod, you would want to play this on GLEY, so you have infinite magazine for like 10 seconds. You can just keep shooting your magazine for 10 seconds, and that means that you can be at max stacks for a very long period of time. So if you're trying to utilize it to its max, GLEY will be the character for you. Fire Conductor is going to be another absolutely amazing pick because the bombardments itself do put the enemies on fire. So if you're playing on other characters more than you are on GLEY, for example, and if you want more kind of consistent damage and you don't want to be dependent on the stacks provided by mental focus, you could always go for Fire Conductor. The numbers are going to be very, very similar. Like halfway through the magazine, mental focus will be dealing same damage, and at the end of the magazine, more damage than the Fire Conductor. However, the Conductor will have more consistent damage somewhere in the middle, so that one's going to be up to you. Then we have better insight for firearm critical hit rate, better concentration for firearm critical hit damage, fire rate up. This is important because we get 25% increased fire rate. This is absolutely beautiful. Concentration priority, insight focus, rifling reinforcement, action and reaction, focus fire, and weak point sight. The simple things, right? We're going for crit rate, crit damage. That's all we care about. And on top of that, increased fire rate. This is going to be the build that you're going to be trying. Once you do, make sure to let me know what you guys think. But personally, for me, I've been in love with this weapon, man. It feels good. It does so much damage to Colossuses. Now, keep in mind, it does depend which one you're fighting. If you're, for example, fighting Dead Bride, she teleports a lot. She moves a lot, and her weak spots are much smaller to hit. However, when she's, for example, downed, then you're going to be dealing a lot of damage. So it really depends on which boss you're going to be fighting. This is incredible for Devour farms. If you're trying to get the catalysts, this is the easiest way on GLEY that you can get those kills. Like, you're not going to have a problem. You're going to have like 10-second or below kills with a primary. That is kind of crazy if you think about it. And the same you can use, and it does a lot of damage also, even on Molten or the Gluttony boss that has just been introduced to the game. I use this all the time when we're fighting that boss. So overall, it is a great option, and it is pretty simple to craft compared to many of the other ultimate weapons out there. Let's take a look at the rolls. We have weak point damage, firearm critical hit rate, firearm critical hit damage, and firearm attack. Now, people have asked me, would it be necessary to, get the attribute increase, trigger increase thing here as a roll, since, that would mean that you're going to have a higher chance to trigger the perk. I don't think it's worth it to trade any of these for that. And the reason is the percentage is still very high, and you are going to be proccing bombardment most of the time. Now, keep in mind, there's 2 bullets that you shoot. So each bullet has a 20% chance to proc the bombardment. Each bullet has a separate chance, the same way each bullet has a separate chance to crit. This is going to be the build that I'm currently using on Greg's. For the build, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be utilizing GLEY. Let me show you quickly. This is the build you're going to copy. And the reason you're going to need these specific ones is we're trying to bring the cooldown as low as possible. So the cooldown on this is 10.3 seconds and the duration is 10.1 seconds. If you wanted to, you could probably probably tweak it a little bit better even, so you don't even have that little tiny difference there. But this is more than enough to keep the uptime, and you're gonna have those stacks all the time. For the focus on toxic, this is here just for the cooldown. I'm not gonna reroll this spot just to get like the perfect thing here. There's really no need. I'm just looking for that slight decrease in cooldown, and that is exactly what I get from this mod. And with this build, you're also gonna get quite a bit of survivability, guys. You're not gonna feel like a glass cannon or anything. You have 15,000 HP. You are gonna be playing on half HP, so do keep that in mind. But overall, it's still pretty good. You're not gonna be dying every second. This is not as tanky as my main GLEY build, by the way. I will drop that build in the description. That is the infinite afterglow sniper build, and you feel like an absolute tank with like 42,000 defense, 10% damage reduction, and 20,000 HP. So that build is my favorite build in the game. But if you're trying to utilize Greg to its fullest potential, this is gonna be the way, right? You're just gonna pop your frenzied, then you're gonna pop your third ability, and you're gonna have infinite bullets for like 10 seconds. So yeah, that's about it, chat. That's about it. Oh, look at that, dude. It doesn't even care about the shields, whatever. As long as the bombardment is proccing, you're good to go. You do not care. Nah, this is wild, man. This is just so much fun to use. You pretty much have a weapon, like a primary weapon, that does everything so well at the moment. It's amazing for bosses. It's really good for ad clear. The initial damage of the bullet itself, really high. It's good for these kind of missions as well, because if you're getting a lot of yellow bars or bosses or whatever it is, you can annihilate them as well. And above all, it's fun, you know? It's fun. It's one of those ultimate weapons right now that is 100% worth putting time into. And the cool thing is, it looks like they're not afraid to do these kind of buffs for the weapons, which means that even if there is some kind of ultimate weapon that you're not sure about, you should probably not be afraid to, you know, kind of invest into it, because most likely they are gonna buff that weapon as well. Like, if they let Greg be so strong, I just do not doubt that they will be buffing a lot of other ultimate weapons in the game, which is the right move, man. That's what they got to do. If they want to keep the game fun and stuff like that, that's what they want to do. Oh my God. That's crazy, dude. Absolutely wild. Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I mean, we literally have the best community of all time. Oh! Oh, he got no scoped.